Hey everybody, and welcome to week 5. We're officially halfway through this course, and we just have week 6 and 7 left. So congratulations. Just wanted to talk a little bit about your discussions on the dimensions of social work. And just wanted to let you know that they are really, really good. You're grappling with the material, and you are connecting the dots, and you're pulling from all that you've learned and read and coming up with a good comprehensive case. So, well done. Just as a critique, I just wanted to put it out there that you don't have to write down the entire case all over again. You don't have to report what happened to James and how they found out, because we all know that. What you would have to do is just write about your analysis of the situation. So I think you're making your lives more difficult by just, writing down everything again. So you can just say James's trust was destroyed because of the abuse that he suffered from, but you don't have to go into details of what that abuse was, okay? But good job overall on the discussions. So this week, I just want to go over the assignments, and we have the triad and dyad trauma therapies presentation. So I'm going to go through that. And if there are any questions about this, email me and I will be happy to help you out. So here is what the presentation guidelines are. Essentially, each student will have one slide per point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slides. If you're 2 people, then each one of you is going to have one slide for all of these. There is one slide for the introduction, but the rest are all, each one of you has to do this. So a summary from each student's week 3 lit review. This is simple to understand. So if you were dealing with domestic violence and your population was older women, then you would write what you learned about it in one slide, and your partner would write about domestic violence and children and what they learned about in that one slide. So you would have maybe 2 slides or 3 slides if you're working in a triad, right? Then a summary of the articles read about each of the therapies that relates the type of trauma that could be treated with these approaches with each therapeutic intervention. So 2 to 3 slides per article. So if you have chosen one article with one therapeutic intervention, you could have at least 2 slides describing the intervention, how it helps, etc. Okay. The next slide is a description of the potential impact on the person physically, emotionally, psychologically, and socially. Okay. So if your intervention was CBT, you would have one slide saying CBT, and then on that slide you would say how can it impact a person in all these dimensions. So you've already done this in a way in your discussions. Okay, so it's in the similar vein. So if your intervention is play therapy, then you can talk about how it reduces the physical arousal, how it enables you to enact a story without re-experiencing it. So what does it do to you physically, emotionally, psychologically, and socially? Maybe because of play therapy, you get to practice some scenarios, and then you're happier or more adept at socializing with others because you've already been through this once in play. So something along those lines, okay? So, and then you would be doing a discussion on how each intervention is beneficial on micro, meso, and macro levels. Again, you're no strangers to this because you've been doing the discussion write-ups through these lenses. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about the macro level. Some things that you could consider are the delivery of this intervention, How is it easy to reach out to large number of people? Is it affordable? Can we train social workers easily in this, or is it any specialized kind of expensive training? So some way of demonstrating how is this intervention going to reach through the organizations into the society. Okay, that's just one more way of looking at it if you're interested. And then this is pretty simple, links of a video that demonstrates someone else doing this intervention, so that the people watching your presentation get a very clear idea of how it is done. So in the technique demonstrations, we've had tapping, we've had guided imagery, we have had puppets. So if you could find ways of integrating that, or finding a video clip on that, you would just put it in your presentation. Just make sure it's appropriate for everybody and is really clinical in nature. Okay. A description, and this is again your personal slide, one slide per student, a description of what has changed in your current practice or what may influence your social work practice, one slide per student. Okay. So follow the rubric. That's the easiest way you can get this done. And if you have any questions, again, please email me. So now we look at what week 5 has for us. And there are three assignments. Let me do this. One assignment is multiple dimensions of social work case discussion. This time we're talking about Raven. It is one of my favorite cases in this book because it is hopeful, and the micro and meso have really supported the client. Okay, I know that Raven's mom is also a client, but we'll focus on Raven here and talk about how these, the micro and meso specifically, have helped her. Not to say that there's no micro, but it's a very rich case also in terms of the therapeutic approaches, and it's a very sensitive portrayal of the relationship between the therapist and the client and how this bond develops. So really a great case despite everything that has happened to her. It talks about self-harm, and you could refer back to Barb Gillen's presentation of how that actually helps a trauma victim. And I also like this case because Dr. Perry is a really out-of-the-box thinker, and he understands the human brain so well. And it's really a testament to how wonderful this organ here is and how it protects us when we are under tremendous stress. So a really good case. Look forward to your discussions. Okay, and then we have technique demonstrations. Just want to let you know that if you are posting a technique demonstration, please post it in 2 places. You have to post it under major assignment section so that I can see it and grade it. And then you also have to post it where your peers can see it. The reason there are 2 different postings is you will be graded separately from your peers who are just responding to your presentation. Okay, so you have to post it in 2 places. Let's go to the objectives and media. So here we have a chapter 8, which is about Raven. I talked about it. Rothschild, the body remembers. Let me see what's in there this time. It is about body awareness and, seeing the cues in the patients. I'm not going to go over all of this, but enough to say that this is, again, another really good, immediately useful, I would say, chapter. If you read this, you can start understanding. Here she talks about body as an anchor, body as a brake. So you're actually reintroducing your clients to the resource that the body is. You're telling them to read cues of arousal and then how to decrease that arousal and function effectively. And then the same thing goes with van der Kolk's book. And he talks about a lot, actually, which I cannot cover in this 10-minute video. I wish I could just keep talking about this book, but here, let me see, one or two things that I have marked out. He says, the mere expression of trauma is not sufficient. Health does appear to require translating experience into language. Okay, so he talks about how important it is for us to talk about our trauma, and he's also open to various methods such as EMDR, mindfulness, the IFS, internal family systems. He's touched upon a lot of therapeutic approaches in this section, and so it's really, really good reading. And here he says, we don't avoid confronting the details, but we teach our patients how to safely dip one toe in the water, then take it out again, thus approaching the truth gradually, which is really the crux of trauma treatment. It's not about confrontation. It's not about pushing your patient to reveal all the details and re-traumatize them, but really we're just going to teach them how to apply the brakes, how to notice signs of arousal, and that there's this wide array of techniques that you can use, and the client can pick and choose whatever they're comfortable with, and then deal with their trauma. Okay, so I look forward to next week and hearing from all of you, and as usual, if there are any questions or concerns, please let me know. Thank you.